Hello, my name is Ari Waldman. This is my video mesechet keritot, day 5, on YouTube. Sunday, December 20th, 2020, the 5th of Tevet. I'm working and pausing. Sefaria, keritot 2a, 1 through 5, the William Davidson Talmud. Matne, shloshim v'sheish, keritot, batorah haba, al ha'am, ve'al eshet av, ve'al hakala haba, al hazachor, ve'al habehema, ve'isha, hamavia habehema, aleha. Haba al isha, uvita, ve'eshet ish, haba al achota, ve'al achot aviv, ve'al achot imo, ve'al achot ishto, ve'al eshet achiv, ve'al eshet achi aviv, ve'al eshet achi imo, ve'al hanida. Mishnah. There are 36 cases in the Torah with regard to which one who performs a prohibited action intentionally is liable to receive excision from the world to come, keret. They are one who engages in sexual intercourse with his mother or with the wife of his father, even if she is not his mother, or with regard to his daughter-in-law. The same punishment is imposed on a man who engages in intercourse with another male, zekor, or who copulates with an animal, and a woman who brings an animal upon her to engage in bestiality. The same punishment is imposed on one who engages in intercourse, and a woman with a woman and her daughter, or with a married woman. The same punishment is imposed on one who engages in intercourse with his sister, or with his father's sister, or with his mother's sister, or with his with the wife of his wife's, or with his wife's sister, or with his brother's wife, or with the wife of his father's brother, or with the wife of his mother's brother, or with a menstruating woman. The megadif, the oved, avodat kochavim, vanoten mizaro lemolech, va'al ov, umechalal Shabbat, v'tamei she'achal kodesh, v'haba al hamikdash, tamei v'ha'ochel, chalav, chele v'dam, v'noter v'pigul, v'shochet v'ma'ala b'chutz. And these two are liable to receive karet, one who blasphemes the name of heaven, and one who worships an idol, and one who gives his children to Molech, see Leviticus 1 through 5, and a necromancer, and one who desecrates Shabbat, and the same is the punishment of one who is ritually impure, who eats sacrificial food, and one who enters the temple while ritually impure, and one who eats forbidden fat, or consumes blood, or eats meat left over from an offering after the time allotted for its consumption, notar, or eats meat of an offering that was sacrificed with the intent to consume, and after its designated time, pigul, and one who slaughters offerings and offers them up outside the temple. Va'ochel chametz, Pesach v'ha'ochel ve'oseh malacha b'yom ha'kippurim v'amefatem et hashemen v'amafatem et hakatoret v'hasach et hashemen ha'mishcha v'pesach v'hamila mitzvat aseh. And these two are liable to receive karet, one who eats leavened bread on Passover, and one who eats or performs prohibited labor on Yom Kippur. And the same is the punishment of one who blends the anointing oil according to the specifications of the oil prepared by Moses in the wilderness. See Exodus 30:22-33. And one who blends the incense according to the specifications of the incense used in the temple service for the purposes other than use in the temple, and one who applies the anointing oil to his skin, and one is liable to receive karet for failure to fulfill the mitzvah of bringing the paschal offering and the mitzvah of circumcision, which, unlike the cases of prohibitions enumerated in the Mishnah, are positive mitzvot. Al elu chayovin, al zdono, karet v'al shgagato, chatat, v'al lo hoda, shelahim, asham taloi chutz min ha-tameya, min ha-mitame, mi kodesh ukadoshav mipnei shehu be'ola v'yored divrei Rabbi Meir. For any of these prohibitions, one is liable to receive karet for its intentional violation and to bring a sin offering for its unwitting violation and for the violation in a case where it is unknown to him whether or not he transgressed. He is liable to bring a provisional guilt offering which provides provisional atonement until he discovers whether or not he transgressed. This is the halacha for all the transgressions listed above, except for one who defiles the temple, i.e., he enters the temple while ritually pure, partakes of its consecrated items, while ritually impure. In these cases, he does not bring a provisional guilt offering because he is obligated to bring a sliding scale offering for a definite transgression. This is the statement of Rabbi Meir. V'chachamim omrim, af hamagadif shene'amar ba'midbar tedvav kavtet Torah achat yelachem liose bishgaga yatsa megadev she'enu ose maseh. And the rabbis say the halacha is the same even with regard to the one who blasphemes, as is stated. With regard to the sin offering, you shall have one law for him who performs action unwittingly. Numbers 15:29, excluding one who blasphemes, as he does not perform an action, but sins with speech. 2b. Gemara, Minina lama li amarav Yochanan she'im ashan kulan behal olam achat chayav al kol achat v'achat. Gemara. The Gemara asks, why do I need the Mishnah to state this tally of cases when one who performs the action is liable to receive karet? Why does it state a number? All 36 are listed in the Mishnah, and one could simply count them to discover how many there are. Rabbi Yochanan said, By listing this tally, the Mishnah is teaching that if one performed all of them in the course of one lapse of awareness, he is liable to receive punishment for each and every one, i.e., to bring 36 offerings. V'tav ha ditanan avot malachot mem chaser achat minina lamali she'im ashan kulan ba'olam achat choyav al kol achat v'achat. The Gemara asks, and furthermore, with regard to that which we learned in a Mishnah, Shabbat 73a, the primary category of labor are 40 less 1. Why do I need the tally of 40 less 1? The Gemara answers, by listing the tally, the Mishnah is teaching that if one performed all of the prohibited labors in one lapse of awareness, during which he was unaware of the prohibition involved, he is liable to bring a sin offering for each and every one. Tav han ditnan dalid michusre kapara minina lamali. The Gemara asks, and furthermore, with regard to that which we learned to the Mishnah, in a Mishnah, 8b, there are 4 people who have not yet brought an atonement offering to complete their purification process and may not eat sacrificial meat until they bring the requisite offerings. The Mishnah that teaches, and these are the people who have not yet brought an atonement offering, the Zav and the Zava, and the woman after childbirth, and the leper. Why do I need this tally of 4? Lafuke mid Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov de Amar Hashem have de Tanya. Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov Omer ger mechoser kapara ad sheyizrak dam alav ahachi tana dalid. The Gemara answers by listing the tally. The Mishnah serves to exclude the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, who says there are 5 such individuals, as is taught in a Baraita. Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov says a convert is also one who has not yet brought an atonement offering, and he may not partake of sacrificial meat. He was sacrificed and immersed in a ritual bath until the priest sprinkles the blood of his offering on the altar on his behalf. It is for this reason that the Mishnah teaches to emphasize that there are not 5 such people. Tav ha Ditnan dalid mivin al hazodon kishgaga minina lamali. The Gemara asks, and furthermore, with regard to that which was learned in that same Mishnah 8b, and there are 4 who bring an offering for the intentional transgression of a prohibition as they do for the unwitting transgression of a prohibition. One who engages in intercourse with the designated maidservant, see Leviticus 19:20 through 22. A Nazirite who becomes ritually impure, see Numbers 6:9 through 12. One who takes a false oath that he does not know testimony on behalf of another, Leviticus 5:1. One who takes a false oath on a deposit, i.e., for that an item belonging to another is not in his possession, Leviticus 5:21-26. Why do I need this talia for? Lafuke mit Rabbi Shimon, the Tanya Rabbi Shimon Omer, Sheboat ha-pakdon, lo nitan, zdona, lekapara, ahachi, tana, dalet. The Gemara answers by listing the tally. The Mishnah serves to exclude the opinion of Rabbi Shimon, as it is taught in a Braita. Rabbi Shimon says the intentional transgressor who takes a false oath on a deposit is not given the opportunity for atonement for bringing an offering. It is for this reason that the Mishnah teaches 4 to emphasize that taking a false oath on a deposit is included in this list. Tav hon ha ditanan Hashem, mevi'in karban echad alaverot harbe minino lamali. The Gemara asks, and furthermore, with regard to which we learned in a Mishnah 9a, there are 5 people who bring one offering for several transgressions, i.e., for violating the same transgression several times. And the Mishnah then teaches these individuals bring one offering for several transgressions. One who engages in several acts of intercourse with an espoused maidservant, a Nazirite who becomes ritually impure via several instances, including seclusion with several men, a leper who was afflicted with several instances of leprosy, and a woman who gave birth to several offspring. What do I need to this tally of 5? Mishum duka bai lemitna seifa nozir im not nitma tom meot harbe ume shiichat la kagon de itme bashvi'i v'chozer v'nitma bashvi'i umani Rabbi Yossi bar Yehuda he de Amar Nizirut de Tahara min Shvi hu dechel aleha. The Gemara answers Katana of the Mishnah lists the tally because he wants to reach the later clause. This also applies to a Nazirite if he became ritually impure, with several instances of ritual impurity. The tally of 5 includes the case of a Nazirite. The Gemara explains what the novelty of this case is, and you find this, that a Nazirite can contract ritual impurity several times consecutively in a case where he became ritually impure on the 7th day, and in accordance with whose opinion it is. Is it? It is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yossi, son of Rabbi Yehuda, who says that the Nazirite of purity, i.e. the Nazirite one must observe afresh after his purification, takes effect on the Nazirite from the 7th day of his purification process. The Tamar, Rabbi He, Kevan de Nazirut Tahara, Ad Shmini lo Chela Aleha, Haichi Mishchachat La. The Gemara clarifies, as if you say the Mishnah is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, that is difficult since he says that the Nazirite ship of purity does not take effect on the Nazirite until the 8th day. How can you find a case with these circumstances applied that a Nazirite can be considered impure with several instances of ritual impurity in the same term of Naziriteship? I din tame, bezayin v'chozer v'nitma, bezayin kula, choda tuma, arichta hi. The Gemara explains why, according to the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, that is not possible. If this case involves a Nazirite who becomes ritually impure on the 7th day, and after undergoing the purification process again, became ritually impure on the 7th day, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi would hold that all these impurities are in fact one instance of long ritual impurity. His reasoning is that the Nazirite never reached the 8th day, which would renew his observance of Naziriteship in purity. If so, the Mishnah would not refer to this as a case of multiple impurities. V'i din tame, bechet v'chozer v'nitma, bechet kevan, diyotza b'sha'a hara'aya, hara'oya, lahavi ba karban chayav, al kol achat v'achat, ela shemem, shmamina, Rabbi Yossi b'Rabbi Yehuda hi. And if the Mishnah is referring to a Nazirite who became ritually impure on the 8th day, and after undergoing the purification process again, became ritually impure on the 8th day, the ruling of the Mishnah would not apply either. Since he left his state of impurity at an appropriate time to bring his offering, as he can bring his offering on the 8th day, it is not considered a continuation of previous ritual impurity, and he is liable to bring a separate offering for each and every instance of impurity. Rather, conclude from it that this Mishnah is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yossi, son of Rabbi Yehuda. It is to emphasize that this fact that the Mishnah lists the tally, my Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda, Detanya Bamidbar Vav Yud Aleph, V'kadesh et Rosha, B'yom Ahu, B'yom Habat, Karbonotav, the Rabbi Rav Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda, Omer B'yom Tiglo Achato. The Gemara asks, what is the source of his opinion? Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. What is the source of the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi? And what is the source of the opinion of Rabbi Yossi, son of Rabbi Yehuda? The Gemara answers as it is taught in a Braita with regard to a verse that discusses a Nazirite who becomes ritually impure and brought 2 birds to the temple. And the priest shall prepare one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, and make atonement for him. For he sinned by the soul, and he shall sanctify his head the same day. Numbers 6:11. The verse is referring to the day of the bringing of his offering, which is the 8th day of his purification. This is the statement of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, and Rabbi Yossi, son of Rabbi Yehuda, says the verse is referring to the day of his shaving, i.e., the 7th day of his purification. 13. Tav ho d'tnan Hashem mevi'in karban olav yored minina lamali. The Gemara returns to its series of questions concerning the mention of tallies in Mishnayot. The Gemara asks, and furthermore, with regard to that which we learned in a Mishnah, 9a, and there are 5 people who bring a sliding scale offering, which is determined by financial status of the sinner. And the Mishnah then teaches 10b, these bring a sliding scale offering. One brings such an offering for hearing the voice of an oath, and for a false oath of the utterance of the lips, and for the defiling of the temple and its sacred foods, and the woman after childbirth, and the leper. Why do I need to tally? Why do I need this tally of 5? 14. Mishum dekatani seifa nasi kayotse bahen Hashem la'afuke midi Rabbi Eliezer nasi mevi seir. The Gemara answers. The Tana of the Mishnah lists the tally because of the halacha taught in the latter clause. As the latter clause teaches in a different Mishnah, Harayot 8b. The court is not liable for issuing a ruling with regard to the hearing of a voice or for a false oath of the utterance of the lips, or for the defiling of the temple and its sacred foods. The status of the king is like that of the court, and he is exempt from bringing an offering in these cases. It is for this reason the Mishnah teaches 5 to exclude the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer, who says that the king brings a goat, i.e. a fixed sin offering, instead of a sliding scale offering for defiling of the temple and its sacred foods. Tav ha d'tanan, dalid avot nezikin, minino lamali. The Gemara asks, and furthermore, with regard to that which we learned in a Mishnah, Bavakama 2a, there are 4 primary categories of damage. The category of ox, the category of pit, the category of mave, and the category of fire. Why do I need this tally of 4? La'afuke de Rabbi Oshia, the Amar Yud Gimel Avot Nezikin Hein V'Larabi Oshia Oshie Minino Lamali La'afuke Midrabi Chia the Amar Kav Dalet Avot Nezikin V'Larabi Chia Menina lamali lafuke mis misor, umi pigul. The Gemara answers by listing the tally of the Mishnah. By listing the tally, the Mishnah serves to exclude the opinion of Rabbi Oshaya, who says, Tosefta, Bava Kama 9.1, there are 13 primary categories of damage. And according to Rabbi Oshaya, why do I need this tally of 13? By listing the tally, he serves to exclude the opinion of Rabbi Chia, who says there are 24 primary categories of damage. And according to Rabbi Chia, why do I need this tally of 24? By listing the tally, he serves to exclude the case of an informer who causes the authorities to confiscate the property of another, and a priest who renders another offering pigul, as Rabbi Chia concedes that these are not included in the primary categories of damage. Amar Rav Shi'im, Ashan, Kulan, Baha Olam, Achat Chayav, Al Kol Achat V'Achat. The Gemara returns to discuss the statement of Rabbi Yochanan. The Master said earlier, by listing the tally, the Mishnah is teaching that if he performed all of them, he is unwittingly violating every prohibition. In the course of one lapse of awareness, he is liable to receive punishment for each and every one, i.e., to bring 36 sin offerings. Bishlomo, patur legamri lo motzit, imrat dichtiv, vayikra yodchet, kaf tet. Ki chol asher yasa, mikol ha toevot ha ela, v'nichrata ela, ima, avar chida, nitchayev chida, avar kulahu, ba olam achat, eino chayav ela achat. The Gemara raises a difficulty with regard to the prohibitions against engaging in forbidden intercourse. Granted, you cannot say that one who unwittingly violates every prohibition against engaging in forbidden intercourse is entirely exempt, as it is written, for whoever shall do any of these abominations, the souls that do them shall be cut off from among their people. Leviticus 18:29. And as they are punishable by keret, he is liable to bring a sin offering for his unwitting transgression. But why not say that if he transgressed one prohibition, he becomes liable to bring one sin offering, and likewise, if he transgressed all of them in one lapse of awareness, he is liable to bring only one sin offering. Amar Rabbi Yochanan lekach yitzia karet b'cha ba'oto lechelek. Rabbi Yochanan said, it is for this reason that karet, which one incurs for engaging in intercourse with one's sister, is singled out and mentioned independently of the other acts of forbidden intercourse. Leviticus 20:17. This serves to separate the prohibitions and reach that one is liable to receive a separate punishment of karet, or to bring a sin offering for each individual prohibition against forbidden intercourse. Matkif law Rav Biyavi bar Abaye, Ema Achoto Diprat. Kara Nichayev Chida Allah v'chulon. Kevan diba ha'olam. Achad lo nichayev. Ela achat. Rav Bevai bar Abaye objects to this. Why not say, with regard to one who engages in intercourse with his sister, which the verse detailed, separately, he becomes liable to bring one sin offering for it, but with regard to all the other acts of forbidden intercourse, one, he transgressed all of them, and one lapse of awareness, he becomes liable to bring only one sin offering for all of them. Villa Rav Bive bar Abaye, my late lay Hada Titania Kol Davar Shahaya Bichlal Vyatsa Min Haklal Lalamed Lo Lalamed Al Atzma Yatsa Ella Lalamed Al Akal Kulo Yatsa. The Gemara objects, and according to Rav Bevai bar Abaye, does not accept that hermeneutical principle, which is taught in a Braita. Any matter that was included in a generalization, but was singled out to teach a halacha, was singled out to teach that halacha, not only about itself, but to teach that halacha about the entire generalization. Ketzad vayikra zayin chof, v'anefesh asher tochel, basar v'gomer, v'alo shlomim bichlal, hakadoshim hayu lama yatsu. The Braita explains how so. The verse states, but the soul that eats of the flesh of sacrifice, of peace offerings, that belong to the Lord, with his ritual impurity upon him, that the soul shall be cut off from his people. Leviticus 7:20. But weren't peace offerings included in the general category of all sacrificial offerings? Why then were they explicitly singled out in this verse? Lahakish Elohon Eli Alehen Ma Shlamim Shehein Kodshe Mizevech Yavin Alehen Af Kol Shehein Kodshe Mizbeach Chayavin Alehen Yatsu Kodshe Badik Habayit. The Braita answers, they were singled out to juxtapose the halacha of other offerings to them, reaching just as peace offerings are unique in that they are consecrated. For the altar, one is liable to receive karet for partaking of them while impure. So too with regard to all food that is consecrated for the altar, one is liable to receive karet for partaking of them while impure. This excludes from this halacha in terms that are consecrated for temples, for temple maintenance. The same reasoning should apply to the singling out of a prohibition against engaging in intercourse with one's sister, as it teaches that one is liable separately for all the categories of forbidden relations. Amar le Rav Biyave Bar Mina Lav Mai imrat, hatam yatsu, kadashe bedak habayit. Rav Bevai bar Abaye said to the sage, who raised this difficulty, the discussion of Rabbi Yochanan's statement should be held apart from that Braita. As didn't you say there that the comparison to peace offerings excludes items that are consecrated for temple's maintenance? The matter that was singled out teaches its halacha only with regard to cases that are similar to it. The same reasoning should apply with regard to the prohibition against engaging in intercourse with one's sister. This is the end of my video, mesechet keritot, day 5. Have a great day.